Hello everyone, welcome to the class of Health and Physical Education, Unit 8, Biomechanics and Sports. And today's topic we are going to learn, that is Newton's law of motion and its application in sports. You have already learned in science subject the different laws of motion. In that you have learned, but we are going to learn that how it is been applicable in sports. So here Newton's law of motion is the relation between the force acting on a body and the motion of the body. Here they are talking between the relation between the force which is acting on the body when the body is in a motion. Whenever, for example, if we are jumping, if we are walking, if we are running, then how much force is being applicable on that body, and what are the results of that force which are being applied on the body when the body is in a motion. So there are the three laws of motion which has been formulated by Sir Isaac Newton. In that, the first is law of inertia. Now law of inertia has been considered the first law of motion, and this first law states that a body at rest will remain at rest and a body in motion will remain in motion at the same speed and in same direction unless acted by the external force. So this law tells us that the body at the rest, the body might be any of the object or our body itself. So a body at rest will remain at rest and a body in motion will remain in motion. For example, if the ball, when it is lying on the ground, so without any of the force, the ball is not going to move. It is going to stay stationary. So that's why it is being considered as a rest. So body as a rest is at the rest. And when any of the person, they used to kick the ball used to be in a motion, and that motion depends upon that how much power or how much force is being applicable in that kick. So here the body in a motion will remain in motion at the same speed. So it is going to continue the same speed and in the same direction unless acted by the external force. So when the ball is, once it has been kicked, then the ball is only going to stop when the external force is being applicable on that ball. The external force might be the air, might be the goal post, might be the net of the goal post, or the you can say the bar of the goal post, or when the ball used to, either the ball used to roll, then due to the friction of the surface it is going to stop. So that's why they are talking about unless it is been acted by an external force. So we are having an examples like starting in rowing. In river rafting, we have seen that the raft, when it is been when the starting of the rowing, that means that when the raft has not yet started and just we are sitting on the raft, so they are at the rest. So that's why it has been considered starting in rowing. Starting in sprinting, when we take a start like in 100-meter or 50-meter run, so starting in sprinting is considered body at the rest will remain at rest. The same in the Roman ring. Roman ring you have seen in the gymnastic, the two rings which are hanging and on that the subject used to perform, that is been considered a Roman ring. So starting of the Roman ring is also one of the example of law of inertia. So in simple sense we can say that if the object is in motion, it will remain in same motion unless some external force try to stop it or it stops it. Then external force, what are the external force? External force may be due to the gravitational force, either it may be due to the surface of the field, when any of the object they used to roll on that, due to the surface of the field, due to the friction it used to stop. These are considered external force. Or when during the time of playing, when another player or the defense player, they used to try to stop, that is also been considered one of the external force. Or braking action of the sports person body trying to stop. So this is the for example, the player playing in a basketball, they know that when they are having the sidelines or the end lines, when they used to touch that line or they used to come out of that line, that is being considered foul. So they are having in a braking action to stop themselves. So that are being considered external force which are being applicable. So that are with the help of the ground, they try to stop themselves with the force, internal force. So they have taken the examples of the external force. So I hope so that with these example, law of inertia is clear. Let us see with the help of the images. Now, law of inertia with the help of the image, it has been given Newton's first law of motion. Here you can see that an ball, you can see the ball. The first object is an object at rest will remain at rest. So ball is at stationary position, it is at the rest. So the object at the rest will remain at the rest unless acted by an unbalanced force. Unbalanced force means that the force is being applicable on that ball to move from its place. And you can see the third one, an object in a motion will remain in a continuous or a constant speed and in a same direction. And unless acted by the unbalanced force, external force is being applicable, that you can see the net is considered an external force which you try to stop the ball. So this is one of the example of law of motion. In another example, you can see the ice hockey player. You can see at the base of the hockey stick, you can see the object. In hockey game we are having a ball, but in ice hockey there is the object which is known as a puck, and that used to glide or that used to slide in the ice when it is used to be in a motion, but due to the ice used to slip on that surface because of the smooth surface, but there is a little bit of friction in that surface also. So here the puck is going to stop after some time period. So here, so this with these examples we can clear our law of inertia. Now second law we are going to learn, that is law of acceleration. Acceleration means to anything which used to accelerate or which used to move in a speed. Now this is the second law of motion, which states that a change in acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the force producing it and inversely proportional to its mass. Now here they are talking about the acceleration of an object that depends upon the force as well as the mass. For example, if the baseball player hits the ball with double force, the rate at which the ball will accelerate will be double when they are hitting, because you can find out the swing of the bat. They used to swing the bat, and when with the swing of that they used to hit the ball with double force. So here what is going to happen, the ball is also going to accelerate with double speed. So here when we are talking about the mass, take an example as in weight. For example, if I am having a big iron ball, when I used to move the iron ball that is of different kg. For example, if I want to roll the iron ball which is of 20 kg, another iron ball which is of 15 kg. So the force which is been applicable on the iron ball of 15 kg, the force which is been applicable on 15 kg ball is going to move at a faster speed as compared to the iron ball which is of 20 kg. So here what happens, we are having two different mass, or that is considered two different weights, and when we used to apply the force on 20 kg, we require to apply more force. But when we used to apply the same force on different mass, what is going to happen, that the weight which is of less, the object which is of less weight is going to move faster, it's going to accelerate faster as compared to the heavier object or with more mass. So here if the mass is same, that means if the mass is same, then the greater force, then the force greater than the acceleration, and the same force if the mass is greater less than the acceleration. So here they tell us that if the mass is same, then greater the force, greater the acceleration. If I am having the same mass, for example with 15 kg, if the iron shot, if the any of the ball is of 15 kg, iron ball is there, then the mass is same here. So what happens, that the force which I used to apply, the more I used to apply the force, the more acceleration will be there. For example, if I am having in a shot put, let us take an example in a shot put. The shot put we are having, for example, 16 lbs shot is there. Then if two persons are there, one of the person which is more stronger, so the strength of that person is more, and one is less stronger as compared to the other one. So here what happens that the person who is more stronger is going to accelerate the shot at more speed, or when they used to throw the ball they are going to throw at the longer distance, whereas the person who are having less strength is going to generate less force on the same mass, so the object is going to travel at the low speed, or it is going to accelerate lower. So here if the two unequal forces been applied to an object of equal mass, the object that has greater force will move faster. Two unequal force and the object of the equal mass. For example, same mass, as I have talked related to the 15 kg, 15 kg weight is same for both the person, but the person those who are more stronger is going to apply the force, greater force, and so due to that the object is going to move faster as compared to the person those who are having the less strength. So this is already we have discussed. So one more example I want to take it from your book, that it is being given that in a hammer throw, the thrower who is stronger, who has more force, will throw the 12 lbs hammer farther than the thrower who has a less force or less strength. The person who is less strength is going to uh, cover the distance or going to accelerate any of the object, that is less acceleration you can find out in that person of an object, and the person who is having more stronger is going to throw farther as compared to the another one. So the law of acceleration, let us learn with the help of the examples. So here Newton's second law is being given. You can see that with any given force, an object with less mass accelerates quicker. So here we are having two balls, one of the volleyball and another one is considered a bowling ball. So here in volleyball the mass is less, it is lighter, so it is going to move quicker, it is going to accelerate faster as compared to the bowling ball, because the bowling ball is heavier as compared to the volleyball, so here it is going to accelerate less. So an object with more mass accelerates slower and the object with less mass accelerate quicker. So this is the one of the example, whereas the another example is with the help of the you can see that we are having first person is holding the iron shot placed on the neck, and another one is the baseball ball. So here what happens, you can see that the iron shot which the person is holding is having the more mass, that is having the more weight. So when he used to throw or when he used to put, that means that the distance which he used to cover with that will be less as compared to the baseball ball. Instead of that iron shot, if he used to place the baseball ball, then it is going to go farther as compared to the iron shot. So here you can see that mass depend upon the mass, different mass, and the force which is been applied on that, and then the object is going to travel in a, the acceleration will be different for both the mass if the same force is been applicable. So this is the law of acceleration. Now moving towards the third law, that is law of reaction. This is the third law of motion, which states that for every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. For every action there is an always equal and opposite reaction. For example, bouncing the ball, either it may be any of the ball. When you used to bounce the ball, the action of the ball is to push the ball down. For example, in basketball, when during the dribbling, when you should dribble the ball, you are pushing the ball down, and that is considered an action. And when the ball comes again back upward, that is been considered reaction. So here, for example, bouncing on the trampoline, what happens that when you bounce on the trampoline, the force which you used to apply, and when you used to jump on the trampoline, what happens, the reaction is that you are going to jump opposite in a opposite direction, that is opposite to the trampoline. Then springing on the diving board, you have seen that the divers who used to dive on the in swimming pool, the springing on the diving board, the more force used to generate on that diving board, the more the diving board is going to bring you up for gaining the maximum height. The same bouncing the ball, these are the examples of law of reaction. So let us see further that when we used to step further, we press our foot against the floor. When we are walking, what happens that we used to step further and we press our foot against the floor. What happens that because of the friction between the foot and the floor, we exert backward force on the floor. We used to have an exert the backward force on the floor, and the reaction of the force is equal to an opposite force exerted by the floor on our foot. So what is the reaction of that? The reaction force is equal and opposite force exerted by the floor on our foot, and due to that we used to move further, and the floor used to, it doesn't used to move backward, but it has been considered that force, this force which helps us in moving the forward direction, that moves us in a forward direction. Now with the example, there are the various examples of this. For example, we are having a swimming. So in swimming, what happened, the swimmer used to push the water backward. That is considered an action is to push the water backward. And what is the reaction? That the water pushes the swimmer forward. That has been considered reaction with the same force. So you can see here with the help of the images, we can see the examples. So here Newton's third law is being given. So in Newton's third law, you can see here in the image that action reaction which applies when a force is placed on any of the objects such as the basketball. So you can see the action. The player used to take the action, he used to take a shot. So your hand exert a force on the ball. What is the action? Exerting the force to the ball is considered an action, and the ball exert an equal and opposite force to your hand, that is being considered an reaction. And what does the ball used to do? That used to exert equal and opposite force, and the ball used to move further for the basket. So this is Newton's third law of reaction. You can see the swimmer, as I have given the example for the swimmer. Then another example like walking. When a person used to walk, he or she presses the ground, as we have discussed further just now before, that when he presses the ground in backward direction, that is considered an action by his or her feet, and the ground pushes him or her forward direction, that is with an equal force, that is considered a reaction. Like in a shooting also, the same thing happens in a shooting. When the gun or the pistol is fired, the bullet moves forward. What does the bullet use? The bullet used to move forward, whereas the gun or the pistol jerks backward, that is considered reaction. What is the reaction? Our hands used to jerk backward with the help of the gun or pistol, that is being considered reaction. The same way as we have discussed previously, dribbling the basketball, the ball which the player used to dribble, he or she exerts the force on the ball, that pushes the ball downwards, and the ball strikes on the floor with the force, that is considered action. And the ball which comes up with equal force from the floor, that is considered reaction. Then in a high jump, the high jumper can jump higher of solid surface because it opposes his or her body with much force as he or she is able to generate, in contrast to the sand or any other unstable surface. If the surface, the stronger the surface, or the solid the surface, the more bounce the high jumper used to get as compared to the sandy area or uneven or unstable surface. The same way, when we are bouncing the ball, when we are throwing the ball on a wall, what is the action? Throwing the ball with the force is an action, and with the double force, the ball again with the same force, the ball is going to come back, that is being considered as a reaction. So this is with the help of these examples, we have learned that what is the law of reaction and how it has been applicable on the sports. Different laws are applicable. So when you want to prepare the notes, you can prepare the notes and you can consider these all examples for that. Already the examples have been given in your textbooks, but still you can get many examples. It is not compulsory that you may take the examples from your from sports itself. You can consider the example from our day-to-day life also. So if you are having any doubts, you can ask. Rest of others can prepare the notes on the basis of this. Thank you.